welcome back to another real estate podcast of Five Stars Realty. Today, I have Berlin Pineda with me. She's not just a real estate agent, she's a real estate educator, content creator, and she does home staging on the side. I want to welcome and thank her for being here today with us. Thank you.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. It is an honor to be here, and I'm excited for our conversation.
So I want to talk a little bit about what it is, and I want to apologize for this. I want to talk a little bit about how you started, or even tell our clients or people out there watching us who you are, what you do, where you came from, your upbringing, and kind of like get them to know you a little bit better.
Yeah, of course. So my name is Berlin Pineda, as already has been mentioned, and I am, first of all, a wife, a sister, a daughter. I come from a huge family. I'm one of 7. I'm number 6. So I have the privilege of warmth and love and being brought up in that kind of environment. I'm also an educator at heart. I have a degree. My background is in education. So I'm an educator, not just as a career, but I think it's ingrained in who I am as a person. I love kids. I have a dog.
I have a dog as well. He's my baby.
Exactly. And something I think that's kind of neat to mention is I lived in Alaska at some point.
Ooh, it is. That's a nice, fun fact.
Yeah. So how did I start in real estate? Curiosity. I was a teacher, and I've always been interested in the real estate world. You see it on TV and all of that good stuff. But
luxury life.
Yeah, exactly. But it wasn't until one of my older sisters bought a home that it really piqued my interest. And I said, I want to do this. I want to understand this process and get into it and help replicate this moment that my sister just had. So
what is it? And I want to touch a little bit. How did you end up in Alaska?
So
honestly, what happened?
I was a young girl. I was 6 years old, so I didn't really have too much say.
Oh, okay. So your parents.
My parents, and they brought us. So we were there about 9 months.
Okay. So do you remember a little bit about it?
Or? Oh yeah. So the first 6 months we were there, it was dark.
All the time?
All the time.
I've always wanted to know if it's actually is.
It's true. It's true. And then the second half, or almost half of the year that we were there, it was light all the time. Like 10 p.m., they wanted us to go to bed, and we're like, but it's 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah, you feel it. That must work with your system.
Right, exactly.
And then you came to Connecticut?
We moved back and forth from New York, different places in New York. So I moved to Connecticut when I was almost 12.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So what... I know you mentioned your sister and everything. What made you then stop educating, stop being a teacher, and go into real estate? Or was that a part-time thing, and then it just kind of fell into your lap?
So I actually went from working at a law firm into real estate. So I taught for 5.5 years, and I had a family member go through bankruptcy.
Okay.
And they didn't speak the language, and so I was the person helping them bring in the documents, fill out the documents. And that particular attorney reached out to me. I wasn't looking for a job. My family owns a business, a restaurant. And so at that particular time, I was helping out at the restaurant. I wasn't teaching anymore. And the attorney reached out to me and said, we need a Spanish-speaking person. Are you interested? I was just beginning my real estate courses.
Okay.
And I remember saying, I want to be a realtor. So I don't want you to invest in the training and then I'm gone. And he's like, we'll take you as long as we can have you. And I was there about 6 months. And when I got my license, I was there another 3 months after my license. And then I realized I have to do this full time.
Okay. So for the viewers out there, I want you to, a lot of people are afraid to make changes. And you, in a short amount of time, went from your family restaurant into law, into real estate. How scary was that?
If I'm honest, it was everything that you start out new. You come in a little bit nervous.
Correct.
So I was a little bit nervous. I didn't really know anything about real estate. My parents had bought a home when I was 14. I didn't know anything about the process. But I had a great support system. I had my family that was willing to help me and support me financially if needed during that time. So while it was scary, I did have somewhat of a safety net during that process.
It must feel nice. I know that my dad is kind of like my safety net. So I know if something goes bad, I'm like, papi, necesito. And he'd be like, okay. So it really is, family is so important.
So important.
How then does your sister buy a home? Did she buy it with you helping her, or you just
So
saw it?
no, she bought the home before I became a realtor,
Okay.
and that's kind of what prompted me. Like I had thought about becoming a realtor previously, but seeing her go through the process, it's just like something woke up in me, and I'm like, I'm gonna pursue this.
It's
I'm gonna
interesting.
check this out. Yeah.
So once you're a realtor, tell the viewers again, is it what it seems? Like you saw this like luxury life, you saw the reels, you saw all this. Tell me if it really, at the beginning, measured up to what you expected.
No. That's the honest truth. No, it's not what it seems on
never
TV.
is. It never is.
As far as what to expect, I was so new. I wasn't really sure what exactly to expect, but it's not all the bells and whistles, at least at the beginning, that you see on TV. I had a great start. I was matched up with an amazing mentor. Shout out to Lois Brooks. She was amazing. She really held me by the hand. So I did have a great start in the sense that I had really good training. My first year, I did well, but I had some tough clients at the very beginning that kind of helped build my thick skin.
It does. It does. You need those clients.
Absolutely. And, but yeah, so love them.
No, again, I always say thank you, because if you don't go through the hard stuff, how then will you handle? How else do you get listings or other buyers? You're able to
Exactly.
tell them, no, I've seen it all.
Exactly.
And I can do this. So again, it's not saying anything to the hard clients or anything to do that. I welcome them.
Absolutely.
I want to learn more.
That's when you learn the
challenge
most.
me.
That's when you learn the most, honestly. But so the beginning wasn't what I was expecting as far as the glam and all of that. But it was, in a sense, the personal aspect, the engagement with people, the impact that you have in people's lives was even beyond what I expected in a good way. So I would mention that.
How long have you been in real estate when you started, and do you feel comfortable today?
So I started 9 years ago in January. Last week, I think, was 9 years.
Congrats.
And thank you.
Because not a lot of people like give up after like 3 years or even the first year.
Yeah. So I remember the first 6 months, everyone saying, you're going to be fluent. You know, you're going to be able to have a good handle within 6 months. And it did not feel that way. I mean, it was extremely intimidating. And today you look back and I'm like, wow, like I've made it this far. I've helped hundreds of families and I feel pretty confident. Always learning. There's always something to learn. I never want to be someone who thinks I know it all. I don't.
And so, real estate law, real estate, everything changes.
Exactly.
Monthly, yearly, there's new forms, there's new procedures, new things we can't say.
Exactly.
So it is always a learning career. I do want to point that out. So the people that stick it out, or the people, again, long lasting, you're about to be like 10 years into it. My hat's off to you.
Thank you.
Really.
Thank you.
Great job. And I want to enforce that. I saw your numbers. They're great. And not your numbers. When you look at Berlin, you see your social media. You see what you're doing out there, the community, the helping. So how does then real estate go into your personal life?
Real estate is what I breathe and eat. It kind of is around the clock a lot of the time, as we know as realtors. But yeah, it intermingles with my personal life, because a lot of the people that I am helping achieve this milestones are family and friends and people that I get to know on a personal basis that then end up needing to sell or purchase a home. So it is very intertwined, I would say, with my personal life.
How important do you think making connections, networking, or creating that relationship with your clients is?
Absolutely, very, very important. It is essential to the life of your business as a realtor, and it goes hand in hand with being genuine and caring about people. Because a lot of my business is return clients, it's referrals. I'm not paying for leads or anything like that, so it is a lifeline of my business to maintain those connections, those relationships, and be caring.
I always point it out, and I think this is repetitive. Your business as a agent and as a real estate person counts a lot on like the connections you make.
100%.
Somebody again, I might be buying a house, right? And if you look at me, then I'm single, like I want a smaller thing. But then people change. I get married. I might want a bigger apartment. I might want my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law like next door.
Exactly.
And then we have a baby. And then we want to upgrade a third time.
Mm-hmm.
We got a divorce. We need to, then you have two clients. You have my husband and me.
Exactly.
If we're downgrading children. So it is a long,
It's a lifelong.
yes.
It's a lifelong relationship, honestly, and that's really what keeps me going. The different. I'm there every season of life, and I want to be there for my clients in every season of life, and it's always an honor. Like I get to see you in different stages, and the fact that you're coming back to me means that I did something right. So I love it.
I really do like when clients do come back. And it's not just because I got married and divorced within 5 seconds. It's because then you might do investments. And you might show them, well, let's do some equity out of this. Let's buy something else. Let's teach you. Out of that background that you have, how important is educating then other agents, helping other agents and the community?
Yeah, so education is, again, like a huge part of who I am, not only as a career, but as I think it's ingrained in my personality. So important. I have onboarded new realtors in the company, and I am so passionate about teaching them and making sure that they are understanding things properly. And when it comes to my clients or the community, I get a lot of people who say, I trust you. Like, I'll go with whatever you say. Wow, that is so honoring.
Yes.
I love that, but I don't want that for you. I want you to understand what you're doing. It is such a big deal. It is such a life-altering decision on so many levels. So it's very personal and important for me, for the community, my clients, to understand what they're doing and be in power. Like, you are in control. I'm here to hold your hand, guide you, make sure you're making informed, very good decisions, and push back if I feel like you're not, right? Sometimes I have to push back a little bit with love.
But that's all. I always push back. People that know me,
if I'm pushing back, it's because I care about you, right? So, but you need to know what you're doing. And so for me, it's the educational portion is so important. And I cannot do this without that.
I've seen your social media, and I've seen that all your clips mostly is education. How do, like, I don't even want to say, because I did ask like how important, but how does it come back to you? Do you get any leads from that, or even the community? How do you, like, do people see you and like, oh yeah, I saw that video that you did?
Yeah, so I have gotten people just inquiring about real estate just from my clips, right? But I also have gotten follow-up questions.
That's
I have
important.
people that's very important. So somebody that may be on the fence thinking they see a post, they get some clarity, and they're like, okay, so I'm going to ask a follow-up questions, and they have the confidence to come to me and ask me, and I'm able to speak into that and then help them with whatever it is that they need, whether it's selling or purchasing a home, from those clips. I also love that it helps other realtors, newer realtors, because I'm speaking obviously to clients and people that I may work with in the future, but there's newer realtors watching, and I have no problem with that. Like, I love educating anybody that wants to be educated and gain knowledge. I love that. So I'm educating clients, the community, and other realtors just through my clips, and I love that.
How, and I know marketing. We do marketing here a lot. The marketing director is even in the back. But how long does it take you? Like, is it something that you enjoy? Do you say you have to do it every week? What is it that actually makes you known into it? Because you have quite a lot of followers.
Yeah, I have a few.
I tell the number.
So for honestly, to be completely honest with you, for a long time, I think the majority of my career, I have not been consistent with marketing. It is a weak spot for me. There's so much going on in life, in real life, so many connections being made in real life, that it really hasn't been, while it's kind of been something I've wanted to focus on, it hasn't been something that I've been able to really focus on as much as I'm doing now. So I had to really pivot and say, you know what? this is very important. Social media is the future. It's already here. It's the present, really.
I agree.
So I have to hone in. I have to be consistent. So I've been a little more consistent in 2026.
Congrats, because we just started 3 weeks ago, by the way.
It's part of my New Year resolution. And so, yeah, I've had to outsource some of it, and that's been very, very helpful. I get help from, some of the mortgage lenders that I use, and they help with editing and filming. So, yeah, it's just been.
I like, by the way, that everybody that is in this career or around it, everybody does like editing. Everybody does marketing. I'm like, I can edit that because it's so important nowadays. Social media, everybody's just scrolling to TikTok.
Yeah.
If they want to find you, they find you through there.
Yeah.
Even lenders, anything. You need to stay ahead of the game ball.
Absolutely.
With that being said, what would then, out of everything you've learned, be something you tell new agents or people thinking of coming into the career?
In general, or specific to social media?
General. However, you can say both. Okay. Social media or general, just go for it.
Organization is so important, and to my shame, I haven't always been super organized. And so honing in on that right away, organizing your systems, how to keep track of your clients, past clients, being consistent and disciplined, very, very, very important. And networking. Networking is so important. Connect with people that, are a little bit ahead of you, but are welcoming. Mm-hmm. Find those people. There's people that have a hard face and don't want anything to do with you in the industry, right? But the majority of people in the industry have a heart to help, want to help, and connect with those people. So make the right connections. Be consistent. Find those systems that help you stay consistent, and jump into the social media thing right away.
Head first, face
first. I'll say there's a lot of new agents that I've been in contact with, and they're hesitant because they're new, and they don't want to put themselves out there because they're new. Go for it. Find the profiles that are doing it right and emulate it. Give it your own twist. Put yourself out there. It's very, very important.
And I've seen people even just record themselves, say a couple things, be in a house, and just because it's so raw, I think it gets something clicking with your viewers, and they like it.
Exactly.
The overproduced things sometimes don't click if you don't do it correctly. So get yourself in front of a camera. I used to be shy in high school. Like, not used to, still I am, even though if you don't believe it. But
I believe it because same, sis.
Very introverted. I would have never been a host in a podcast or anything. I think I would have sweated out my clothes. Like, it wouldn't have been good. But it really, once you're comfortable being uncomfortable, that's where the doors open.
Yes.
So once you have a tackle, or 2026, you're going to tackle social media. Mm-hmm. What would you say is next?
Just keep making the connections. Connections, putting yourself in the right rooms, and just always be consistent in the way that you care for people, and don't change that, right? So as far as what's next, keep being consistent, keep showing up, always continuing education.
Yeah,
that's really the key, continuing to educate yourself, and not only like show up, but then apply it. Do the stuff that you learn. Because I've been going to trainings, and social media stuff, but I'm really applying it now, and I'm seeing the fruit from that.
Now that you mentioned that, a lot of people give up, and we mentioned this, like the first year, 2 years, like they didn't see it. Are you seeing the fruits because all these like connections you've made are coming back? People do recognize you. People say, no, I'm going to work with Berlin. Mm-hmm. Would that be something that happened in the past and now you're seeing it?
I would say early on, the year 3, you could start seeing that. If you're consistent, if you really show up for people, and you're really looking out for people's best interests, that resonates. And people see that. You can't fake that, right? And so I think the fruits of that I started seeing early on, and it's just been repeating itself.
Has real estate shaped you?
I would say yes, in a lot of ways. Starting out, I would see a certain phone call in my phone, and it would make me so nervous that my stomach would turn, like the deal's about to fall apart or things like that. And
no.
thank God, like I really haven't had many deals fall apart in my career, but everything's so new and you don't really know how to handle certain things. So you're really high stress and high strung, right? But as the years have gone by, I think real estate has helped me kind of control my anxiety a little bit and come up with skills and like coping skills to deal with the hard times and to deal with the things that you can't really predict and how to manage those situations. So I think it's given me clarity and the ability to manage difficult situations in a way that I maybe would have not learned had I not been in this career.
I do want to say that anything that comes up in real estate or a transaction, it's not the end of the world.
Right. It's not. It's not the end of the world.
It's not. I got agents that call the office, Stephany, the inspection didn't go through, but they like, I don't know what, like, I'd be like, okay, did they send you the report? Are they backing out? Or they want things fixed? And they're like, oh. And I'm like, right. Like, you need to know where you stand before we freak out.
And that's something that I learned early on in my career. That's something I have learned. And in a way that real estate has shaped me. None of it's really ever the end of the world, you know? So if something is happening, don't freak out. Like that used to be my first thing, my default. Oh my gosh, I'm freaking out. Not anymore. I'm more solution oriented. And I think this career, real estate has made me more solution oriented. There's always a solution. There's always a way out.
I like that. I really do like that. I've never thought about, I say I'm like a problem solver, but that's a really good way to say it. No, I give solutions.
You find solutions. That's what it's about.
That's cool because it really is. It's just finding how are we doing this. And again, if you're a really good agent and you have really good connections with your buyers or your sellers, you're gonna prep them into like what might happen. What are the steps? Yes, yes. It just goes back to that.
Yes, and I learned that too. Like when you first meet your clients, if you take that first hour and a half, I have a consultation with all of my buyers before we see the first house. We're gonna talk. We're gonna sit and we're gonna go over the market. We're gonna go over what's going on. It eliminates half of the stress. That initial consultation, that first meeting, that first conversation. If it's educational, it will solve half of your problems that may potentially come up before they even ever arise. They don't arise because you had
you had a conversation. You explain closing costs, or you explain sending multiple offers.
Exactly.
People sometimes think, oh, I did one, we're gonna get it. No, it really it's setting an expectation of what it's about to happen.
Right.
Because buying your house is one of the most important things you can actually do. It's I kind of like nerving.
Yeah,
and to have that in somebody's hands and for you to make them feel comfortable, that's something really special too.
It is.
Do you see yourself doing this for another 10 years?
I think forever. I see myself doing this forever, honestly. I don't really see myself doing anything else. I love interior design. So I do staging as well. I stage all of my listings, whether it's light staging or moving things around, whatever the case is. And I also offer that to other realtors that are interested. I stage their listings as well. I thoroughly enjoy that. It's very fun for me. So staging, being an agent.
And I know there's a different cost and everything, but would you recommend virtual staging or actual physical, you be in there putting the pieces?
It depends on the property. It depends on the
value,
the price point, what actually is needed. I'm more hands-on. I'm getting in there and we're going to move things around. There are staging myths, people sometimes think that they need to get everything new. Everything needs to go. Half of the time I'm working with what you already have.
Oh, then you broke one of, because I thought you're clearing everything out. I thought you're putting new pieces in, and you were gonna give me $10,000 and an invoice.
That's not always. That could happen again, depending on the price point, depending on what we're trying to attract. But a lot of times, half of it's decluttering. Get rid of half of your stuff, and I can work with the other half, rearranging, moving things around, accessorizing. A lot of the time is that light paint, changing out light fixtures. So when I'm staging, I'm looking at the lowest cost that would make the biggest impact.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's what we're kind of looking at, and there's so many ways to do that. And sometimes it does take the bigger budget to make bigger changes.
It must walk around your house because it must be very like clean, clutter, like staged. Okay, this question. Do you see a difference between a house that's staged and a house that's not?
Yes, night and day. And I'll give you an example. Even in the photos, I actually was having a buyer consultation last night. And again, I'm educating. I'm showing them. We have our little consultation, what to expect. And then I'm like, well, let's go on the MLS and look what's available, what's closed within our price point. So we have a feel of what to expect. And we're looking through the pictures, and there was this particular house, which was, by the way, a great house. I can see past these things. Like I can see this is, I can see this is a good house. Terrible photos, terrible staging. And my clients didn't even want to go through the pictures. And I'm going to say, hey, guys, slow down. Let's actually look at the house for what it is.
Right.
But not every realtor has the ability to look past that, right? Because I have a knack for design, a knack for home decor, so I can see it. But you do your clients a disservice when you don't help them stage, or when you don't hire someone that can do it, because it's like my clients. We're not even interested in seeing the photos. So I looked at the price point, close for asking price. I'm like, if the staging would have been a little bit different, would have closed for higher. It makes a world of a difference.
Yeah.
I have so many examples of that.
No. When I, like, sometimes new agents they sit with me and we're going over like expired. And I'm like, okay, so let's see, what do you see in this one? And a lot of the times is they only had 10 pictures.
Not enough.
Or they didn't have a floor plan. If you're trying to make me have to go in there, then if I don't want to go, then I can see the floor plan. Floor plans like ruin it for people just out of the blue.
Exactly.
And sometimes I see pictures of like a basement unfinished, just trash, like just everything thrown out.
The toothbrush. I don't want to see your toothbrush.
Let's not put it here then.
Your dish rack.
Have them go into the house and then they can see it themselves at the house once they're in there. But yeah, it's very important.
Absolutely.
Do you think of like increasing your staging business?
If it comes, it's something that I really enjoy doing, almost as a hobby. And I welcome business as far as staging. There's a couple realtors who have used me and use me consistently now, not just for staging, even to like decorate their own personal homes. Which so fun! I love that.
Okay.
But yeah, so I welcome more business. My focus is real estate, but I am so open to growing the staging side of things.
That's good to know, because I have half an empty wall in my office and I keep looking at it. I'm like, I think something goes here. I can't figure it out. And I'm in Amazon and I'm like, and you know, Amazon, you could like put it in the wall. And I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. And it's so difficult. So it's always good to have somebody that can see the big picture and just like the final product, because it's so difficult for buyers out there.
Absolutely.
If your house is not prepped or anything, or if it's bare, sometimes if it's completely empty, you can't imagine
those
yourself
are very
in there.
important to stage as well. And I actually have an example of that. I have an example of a home that was staged. It was lived in, but you could tell they had moved things around and things like that, in a home that was completely empty. And my client, I knew just from the conversation that we have had initially and things that we had seen, I knew that the vacant home was a better fit for them, just based on what I already knew about them that they had shared. But one of them, the wife, was so inclined towards the other home because it was staged so nicely. So I had to have the conversation like, I know you loved the way that it was decorated, but you can replicate that. Now let's talk about the actual house. So again, like I am able to do that because I can see past those things, but
a lot of people are just visual. A lot of people, they can be the same purse and just a tiny little change or something. And people, even if you don't put a brand or whatever it is, people don't recognize this. People just are visuals, and that's what I want. But no, I want a big kitchen. Like, I think that's where I go, and I don't go anything else. I go to the kitchen. Yeah. I'm like, I'm out. It's not. It's
and we can't really help that.
And you can't help that. I want like an island, like a drop island, and well, that's only I'm gonna get it like in Times Square or something like that. And you know, we're not there. We're in Hartford, Connecticut. Yep. I'm gonna make it my own.
There you go.
But I know that we're nearing the end. What would you say to a potential buyer, lister, seller, What would you say to anybody that's looking to even stage, just have a chat, just have to like know what the market's like? What are you offering? Anything, agents even out there.
Yeah, so first and foremost, I am more than happy. My DMs are always open. I'm always open to have a conversation, answer questions. I am very approachable.
Yes, and funny.
And so yeah, feel free to approach me and ask me anything, whether you're a new agent. I'm so happy to help you learn the ropes. If you're somebody looking to sell and you need to know what your home would be worth, what you can do to make it even more valuable, happy to have those conversations. And if you're someone looking to buy for the first time or a repeat buyer, I'm more than happy to walk you through all of those steps.
This has been a really great conversation.
Thank
and I had so
you.
much more questions, but then we're going to be here for a long
We can do a part 2.
Oh, part 2 coming up. But thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
Before we go, give the viewers where they can find you, Instagram, phone, anything is going to be in the bottom. So repeat yourself or they can look at it.
Yeah, absolutely. So my Instagram handle is Berlin Pineda Realtor, and my phone number is 860-328-6081. DM me, call me, text me. I am here for you.
Yes, please do call her. She's great. She can help you any needs that you want into the real estate or just knowledge. And again, we thank you for being
Thank
here
you for
today.
having me.
It's been great. So again, you can like, subscribe, follow this video for more real estate knowledge, more anything people empower Connecticut and near states. So again, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.